He thought it was just food. But what she did next changed his life. The night he gave her the food, no one noticed. The city was loud, uncaring, rushing past like it always did, and she was just another invisible figure curled against the cold stone wall. But in that small, ordinary moment, a quiet decision was made that would soon shake everyone who witnessed what happened next. Before the story truly unfolds, pause for a second. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that one small act can change everything, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us who we really are. He was not a rich man. He was not powerful or famous. He was simply tired of long shifts, tired of unpaid bills, tired of feeling like life was slowly squeezing the joy out of him. Every evening after work, he walked the same cracked sidewalk, past the same flickering streetlight, and crossed the same alley that smelled of rain, rust, and forgotten dreams. That alley was where she sat every night, wrapped in layers of torn fabric, her hair matted by time and weather, her face hollow with hunger. People passed her without looking, or they looked and quickly looked away. Some crossed the street, others pretended to be busy on their phones. She had learned not to expect anything from anyone anymore. That night, the wind cut sharper than usual. He had just left the corner store with a small paper bag, his dinner for the night. It wasn't much, just warm food meant to quiet his hunger before another lonely evening. As he stepped out, he saw her again. Her hands were shaking, not dramatically but subtly, the way the body trembles when it has been empty for too long. Their eyes met for a fraction of a second, and in that moment, something inside him stopped. He thought of how close he himself felt to the edge some days. One missed paycheck, one bad month, and he could be sitting exactly where she was. He didn't plan it. He didn't think it through. He simply turned around, walked back a few steps, and placed the bag gently beside her. No speeches, no cameras, no expectation of gratitude. Just food, offered with a nod that said he saw her. Then he walked away, his heart strangely heavy and light at the same time. What happened next began quietly, but its impact would soon echo far beyond that alley. She stared at the bag for a long time after he left. Years on the street had taught her to be careful. Sometimes kindness came with cruelty hidden behind it. But the warmth seeping through the thin paper told her this was real. She opened it slowly, almost reverently. The smell alone made her chest tighten. She ate not like someone desperate, but like someone remembering what it felt like to be human again. She saved a small portion, wrapping it carefully, a habit from a life she barely remembered. That night, something inside her shifted. It wasn't just the food. It was the way it was given. No pity, no judgment, just respect. As she lay down under the cold sky, she cried quietly, not from sadness, but from the sudden pain of hope returning after being buried for so long. Over the next few days, the man didn't see her. He noticed the empty spot in the alley, but assumed she had moved on, as many did. Life pulled him back into its routine, and the small act faded into the background of his memory. He never imagined it would find its way back to him. What no one knew was that the woman carried a past heavier than the bag she once dragged behind her. Before the streets, before the hunger and the cold, she had been someone else entirely. She had worked with her hands, creating things that mattered. She had loved, lost, trusted, and been broken by circumstances that piled up until she had nowhere left to fall but down. Addiction, grief, and betrayal had taken turns dismantling her life, and by the time she realized she needed help, the world had already stopped listening. But that meal became a spark. The next morning, she walked farther than she had in months. She washed her face in a public restroom, stared at her reflection, and barely recognized herself. Still, she stood straighter. She went to a shelter she had avoided before, ashamed and afraid, and asked for help. It wasn't easy. The process was slow, humiliating at times, filled with paperwork, rules, and waiting. Many nights she wanted to give up. But every time she felt herself slipping, she remembered the man who had given her food without asking who she was or why she was there. Weeks passed, then months. She began to change. The woman who once blended into the shadows now volunteered at the same shelter that helped her. She cleaned, organized, listened. She told her story to those who were ready to hear it. She learned to forgive herself, one painful step at a time. Slowly she began to rebuild something she thought was lost forever. Then came the day that shocked everyone. The man was called into a community center near his workplace. He almost didn't go, assuming it was another waste of time. The room was full, buzzing with quiet conversation. A small stage stood at the front, decorated simply. The event was about local heroes, people who had made a difference without knowing it. He sat near the back, uncomfortable, wishing he were anywhere else. When the woman walked onto the stage, he didn't recognize her at first. She stood confidently, clean clothes hanging neatly on her frame, her eyes clear and steady. The room fell silent as she began to speak. She talked about life on the streets, about invisibility, about how hunger eats not just at the body but at the soul. She spoke of despair so deep it feels permanent. Then she spoke about one night, one alley, one small paper bag of food. As her words filled the room, his chest tightened. He realized, slowly, painfully, that she was talking about him. She explained how that single act had reminded her that she still mattered, that she was still seen, how it had pushed her to seek help, to fight, to survive. She revealed that she was now coordinating outreach programs, helping others find shelter, food, and resources. The room erupted in emotion. People cried openly. Some covered their mouths in disbelief. Then she asked the man to stand. He did, trembling, his face burning with embarrassment and confusion. He hadn't done anything special. He hadn't saved anyone, at least not intentionally. Yet there he was, being thanked by someone whose life had changed so dramatically because of him. The applause felt overwhelming, undeserved, and deeply humbling. After that day, his life changed too. Not because he became famous or wealthy, but because he began to see the world differently. He noticed people more. He gave more. He understood that kindness is not about grand gestures, but about showing up in small, quiet ways when it matters most. He learned that you never really know how far a single moment can travel. The woman continued her work, her story spreading through the community. She became a living reminder that people are not their worst moments, that dignity can be restored, and that compassion can rewrite futures. And all of it traced back to one simple choice made on a cold night. If this story is touching your heart right now, if it's reminding you of the power you hold without even realizing it, please take a moment to like this video, share it, and subscribe. Your engagement helps spread stories that matter, stories that might be the spark someone else needs. Before we end, leave a comment below and tell us this. Do you believe one small act can truly change a life? Because somewhere tonight, someone is sitting in the cold, feeling invisible. And somewhere else, someone is holding something small they could give. The space between those two people is smaller than we think. Sometimes all it takes is one step, one choice, one moment of kindness to change everything.